Welcome back to Shattered Faith, everybody. We are here. Shit's still bad, as it normally is. But life goes on for as long as it can. Lexicon,
Yes.
would you like to give us the cap of the read?
I will do what I can. Towards the end, my notes get more sparse, but I will have you guys to help me. So, we began last session, which was on February 26th, with a long rest, and the game began with another 8-hour roll. Despite a low roll from yours truly, we did get an average of 67. There was a tense silence. We all listened for the results. Success! DC was 60 this time. Mason asks for another D100 roll from someone, and Gabriel's a 61. So the result's a two-parter. At hour 32, a Dom makes its first major counteroffensive. Scarlet Fist takes down a Dominion Seraph. A bunch of Adamani are lost. There's 650k remaining. Morale is bolstered. And then an update as divine reinforcements have been summoned and Hellforged siege engines and a new abyssal behemoth joined the fray. There are some additional losses in 25 minutes, 10,000, and the enemy is shifting their strategies. To us, outside of game, that means the DC was increased for the next roll. In the morning, Adonis reads a note from Constantine that simply says, "Who were you talking to on the roof?" So he meets with Constantine in the war room, and Constantine brings Hawk along as well. Adonis reveals that yes, he had been speaking to Maria at that time, said in quotes. Why? Well, he didn't choose to speak to her. He had been watching the group at the time. Constantine asks why Bellinet was brought up in that conversation, and Adonis says, well, Maria thought she was our best chance, and Constantine asks, do you really believe that? And he says, I think she speaks in half-truths and double meanings. To whose benefit Bellinet being alive for is debatable, but it's worth it to keep her on a path away from garden stuff. Constantine is confused, though, and says, was Maria Yoldavan? And Adonis shakes his head. Whoever they were, they could weasel around where they needed to be. She wasn't Yoldavan, and the group needs to make sure that whatever Maria believed Bellinet to be does not come to pass. Just don't be too forceful about it. Questions are asked about how the troops are in the city. They're restless. They're wondering why they weren't deployed. Are there ways to keep them sharp? Perhaps. Adonis, Hawk, and Constantine have a discussion about just kind of what's going on. Urban warfare is apparently a specialty of Ottomani forces, and Constantine says his troops are the elite with that. He worries that the dome will fall, though, and there are not enough resources to idle and bring it back up when it does. Many of Adam's normal troops are outside being a, well, meat wall for the barrier, and once it falls, the elite troops are going to be defending. They discuss war tactics for urban warfare, evacuation. Adonis offers to help Constantine's men in tight spots. Constantine admits he feels overwhelmed using the Ethernet and asks the others if they would be a second in command, which Hawk takes up. Constantine wants Adonis to stay in the core instead of going outside to help. Adonis and another simulacrum are guarding the core along with one of Bellinet's guards, and Constantine trusts Adonis's planning. Hawk says that he'll retreat for the spear if Broken Arrow is called, and Birdseye is apparently the call for Hawk to report in to take and give orders. Hawk volunteers to bodyguard for Bellinet until he is called away, and Constantine asks, apparently, why is Bellinet in gold? To which the answer is again, she helps the city as a whole, smiley face. There's something about, I was in my meeting at the time, so this is notes I got from other people, but maybe the Dominette will be with Bellinet, and they're going to check on that. They discuss Jonas, and that Jonas is intent on evacuation, and Constantine asks Adonis to kill any blackguard he sees interfere with Jonas. Adonis then goes to see the Dominette. There's no response and no receptionist. Oh, wait, right. They're asleep. Oops, Lamau. So Adonis leaves and looks for Kira, but she isn't here. She worked apparently from a different city, one currently confirmed fallen. But she may be okay, hopefully? Adonis then goes to speak with Lexius at a cafeteria, who's alone eating an egg salad sandwich. Adonis says they share similarities, and Lexius can sense it. Adonis asks how they can maneuver to any when they want, to which Lexius shrugs and says it's part of my very being. Does Lexius ever worry about small things like moving a rock? I mean, of course, it's why I don't do much. He knows his consequences already. So they eat some food together. Adonis blinks. Lexius appears with 6 egg salad sandwiches. Wisdom saves on them because it tastes weird and brain cannot comprehend what the fuck the flavor is for a moment. Like a shocking first seasoning experience. And instead of actually eating it, Adonis is aware of the memory of eating it, but not actually having experienced it, and realizes, oh man, these sandwiches are not going to fill me up. Dang. So they become transparent and disappear. Only a glimpse into a future you can't see. They discuss the time morality of looking into the future. Lexius likes to look into the future. Adonis does not. Lexius likes the concrete knowing of the future. Adonis muses on how he knows when to go, but not the why. They discuss the nature of time and traveling through it. Lexius doesn't fear what he touches. He knows that it will be corrected. He does, however, fear what he can lose. So Adonis asks, well, what do people like us do? Do we just watch? And Lexius says, well, you know where to press the buttons. Some things you get the feelings, eventually, where you can make a change in threads. But it is not well liked, and some things cannot be undone. You have to understand, whatever you are doing will sometimes permanently alter the course. When it pushes back, you pull harder. Adonis wonders if he could have fixed all of this if he went back further. But the future's easier than the past. Changing the past will eventually ruin you. He muses that sometimes he forgets he's still as much human as the rest of them. Well, us. And Lexius gives him a word of advice. Time will eventually leave you in a cramped space. Feel free to rely on those to get you out and help them further. It's an exchange. You are put in binds not everyone can get out of without help. There is strength and trust. An exchange is not weakness. Perhaps Adonis says he'll remove himself from all this someday, and Lexius nods. Sometimes time to reflect's important. Whatever comes next, Adonis says he thinks not having him around for other people will be better for them because they rely on him too much. Maybe they don't need him at all. Maybe they never did. Lexius says, well, you're needed more than you think, but not for the reasons that you'd think. Powerful people exist to be a beacon, a light, not a hammer. Sometimes you have to pave the way so others can grab their tools and pave it with you. Something to guide them. Be a lighthouse, not a fire. Adonis thinks that moving forward, he should continue striving against the status quo. Right now, being here is most important. Despite being able to move through time, it's because he chooses to be here that perhaps he can actually do something he hasn't yet seen. Lexius says, and you will see it. Adonis chuckles. The question is, when? We're made to deny that we are. This time is unpleasant, he says. Well, time is what you make of it. It doesn't care what you do. It comes over you like a wave. You fight or move with it. Adonis muses that, well, we can do both because we can see. It's always a choice. Don't ever think there isn't. He misses his brother. Lexius looks at him and just kind of smiles. When all this is done, grieve. He will, but first he has to move past the anger. He turns to leave, and Lexius stops him to say, when that war concludes and you are found again, breathe. Lexius chose his path. It's lonely. That's intentional. Choices are made with reason and conviction. He knows what he chooses. He turns and fades away. We move then to Belinette and Adonis, as Belinette invites Adonis to her sister's statue in the Botanical Gardens. They discuss siblings, what it is to be a sibling, the nature of their lost siblings, memories, things they miss. And then Belinette asks Adonis, you know, this thing on my arm, can you help me figure out what it is? Because it's kind of making me nervous. It just keeps getting bigger. So with some preparation and trepidation, Adonis casts legend lore on the glass. We get words, almost a poem. I'm not going to go ahead and read that. It's in the chat anyway. I believe it is pinned in Shattered Faith. But it talks about, you know, the garden, Sofdom's heart, eating it, mirrors, blade of broken mirrors does not choose its wielder, it consumes them. During this time, there's also something about, you know, you could see who you were, who you could have been if the gods had been kind, but the gods were never kind. Um, so as Adonis casts this, Belinet has detect thoughts on so that she can also get the information. And at the end of it, Adonis gets a moment, just a moment, where he feels nothing. The absence of everything. It's not death, it's nothing. All mortals exist to die, but there isn't life or death here. It's just nothing. He feels himself falling into the abyss, that nothingness, and he can't describe it, but something is staring back and it's waiting. Very foreboding. So, uh, they discuss a little bit about this legend lore and how creepy it is, and well, that doesn't seem like good news. And then decide, maybe let's pool the minds of the council together, the echelon, and see what we can do. So we walk/teleport to the gold meeting chambers, just like the beginning of the series. Um, Hawk and Constantine get questions from Belinet and Adonis about the glass shards and Korgotha stuff and Softom. Constantine does know stuff about Korgotha, specifically unbreakables and the materials they used for weapons and how they could cause uncurable wounds. But the glass part is the weird thing because it didn't make sense. People saw what Softom was stabbed with. It didn't line up with what was found inside. Like the shard was put in afterwards. Um, she was also the only one found with that kind of remnant, found apparently near her heart. The report was also quite grim about other things that Softom suffered during that battle. It was very fucking sad. Um, but the glass shard was found after all of it, while people were trying to stitch her up. She was perma-scarred even after the wounds closed, and nobody knows how she was even able to survive or heal from the wounds. The glass shard more fell out, not that they pulled it out. So we wonder, was the glass already inside her before she took the unbreakable wounds, or was it added afterwards? Hawk, thinking about what could be going on, mentions the Yuan-ti god Zahir, the patron god of a lot of Yuan-ti. Human sacrifices, assassins, snake god, venom can do numerous things. But after thinking about it more, Zahir's poisons, most of them can be identified, and you can usually heal them with greater resto. Also, Zahir poisons are usually full body necrosis or turning people into Yuan-ti beasts, so it's probably not related. I believe someone asked Belinet, hey, did your sister, was she involved with Maria and stuff before everything? Belinet thinks about it, a little unsure, says, the Dominant told me that my sister and her were close, or that Maria knew a lot about her, I guess. And while thinking, she then feels a heartbeat, gets a vision in her head, and it's the sound of Maria's voice in first person speaking to Softom. They're talking and chatting about life, and eventually Softom says, I wish I had a mother like you are. Heart-sinking moment. Hate that. Man. So, if there was a prior connection, maybe Maria planted the glass herself. There's again, musing. Did it need to be within Softom for a time to gain something, to get something? When it was ready, would it go to the gauntlet? As we are kind of thinking about what all this could mean, there's a knock at the door, and it's Jonas. He's like, hey, I saw you all come in here. Is everything good? We're like, well, here's what we are currently talking about and thinking about. Can you help us? At the mention of broken glass and wounds, Jonas's eyes roll like he's about to pass out. He shakes it off. There are certain things that he can't even utter, and in this world there are things that are older than even the gods. And sometimes those things, well, people fear what they don't know or understand. Very cryptic, but how things go. We ask, do you know how long Softom had been speaking to Maria? And it was a few years. They became close quickly, just like the Dominant and Maria, just like Belinet and Maria, because people couldn't resist her, anyone she talked to. And something in Jonas actually feared her. It felt like staring back at a staring back at a reflection that was smiling at you while you were weeping, and no matter what you did, you couldn't look away. Let's see. Oh, this is where my stuff started to get sparse because fuck shit started happening. And I was like, oh my god. I believe Was it that Adonis started talking about something from the one book, or
Yeah,
okay?
I discussed. No, it wasn't the book. I
No, I
discussed what
think
the
it was.
gauntlet
Was it
did.
the? Oh, it was the
I was-
identify, right?
yeah, I was telling everyone what the gauntlet actually did.
Yes, the identify on the gauntlet. Adonis starts speaking aloud, like what he finds out about it, which we also have posted for those of us in. I think it's in various channels. Um, and as he speaks it and finishes, Jonas looks at him puzzled and goes, "What are you speaking?" And we all make wisdom saves. It's not great. Apparently, this information is bad shit, as I believe Gabe put it, a cognito hazard. Um, and turns out that as Adonis was speaking the identify, everyone in the room did not hear a thing that he said, or like it wasn't there. Um, Bellinet, on the other hand, heard it but completely glossed over it because in that moment she looked down and saw gray skin and black nails and the weight of horns on her head and did not question it because it's her own skin. Why would she question it? And then also, you've heard this information before. Why do you need to pay attention? So when she comes out of that, and Adonis looks around going, "Did any of you hear what I said?" Everyone is basically like, "No." Um, Adonis then starts to see some shit. There are chains pulling out of the corner of his eyes. There is the sound of chains, and anytime he actually looks over to look at them, he sees figures. There's a figure with a piece of glass to the wrist, another to the throat, another to the mouth, another to the heart. There's also, at one point, he looks over, sees Bellinet eating a heart. Um, and eventually, as he sees all this, hears things, Adonis throws up. And in the vomit, sees a small hairpin that belonged to his mother. There's a note
Right.
attached to it, and it says, "Miss me?" He is immediately reminded of a certain rooftop conversation. And blinks, and turns out there wasn't a hairpin there or a note at all. He was digging through his own vomit. Whoops. Um, we are told some truths are not meant to be uncovered. Some truths are locked away for a reason. Jonas is rather alarmed by everything going on and is like, "Hey guys, maybe you should like stop." And Adonis is also like, we should stop this conversation, like now, completely." Um, Belnick gets upset and is like, "But I want to know what happened to my sister, blah blah blah." And people are like, "Maybe we shouldn't right now. This is bad shit." Um, Jonas reveals that Ao had apparently ordered our executions, had ordered Asmodeus, had ordered Pelor. Pelor had ordered Jonas to execute us. Ao wasn't able to erase us himself for some reason, or itself, I guess. And Pelor didn't understand why he was being ordered to execute us. That doesn't happen. So that kind of thing is very weird, but we realize it's connected to the moment that all of us read Things Left Forgotten from El Terrell, the secret library there. So Jonas tells us a little thing and says, being unable to hear what's being said here could be related to a thing called the Silent Cathedral. I I don't know. I can't say anymore. Even I don't know it completely, but it might be related. And we remember that Silent Cathedral was actually mentioned in that specific book. Um, there's more discussion. My notes are bad here. I know that eventually Jonas confronts Bellinet about her sister and calls her selfish and is like, "You're doing this for selfish reasons." Um, he does reveal that hatred as pure as what Lorna has now cannot be quenched. And Jonas wants to guide that hatred. And something about "you'll understand it when it happens." I then have two empty brackets, which usually means shit happened that I didn't get, followed by another 8-hour roll. So if something happened after that, I didn't get it. Um, that 8-hour roll, this time our average was 57, and that wasn't great. We have more losses. We're holding but strained. It is now a war of attrition, and the DC goes up to 70. The Adamani front holds, but barely, and the next 8 hours are apparently going to be crucial. That's all I have. So if I missed anything, please let me know. Please fill me in.
You missed the part where Hawk and Constantine kiss.
That was
All right,
important.
Hawk
Yeah, I
and
didn't.
Constantine had sloppy kisses.
Yeah, right in the room
Yeah.
on the table actually while we were all talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a thing, and because I have spoken it as the summary note person, it is actually canon.
Wow.
Wow.
Congrats.
That's the power of an F. I mean,
This is the power of humanity. Starts kissing Hawk on the lips. I'll show them the might of humanity. What are y'all doing?
Official gold echelon business.
Official.
official.
Jonas knocks on door, opens door, goes, never mind, walks out.
Jonas can join.
What?
Oh, okay. What?
But not Zara. Oh.
Your brother's
Dude.
dead.
Maybe he should have came back.
It's ongoing meme.
Adonis, your brother's
My-
dead.
Stop it, man.
Honest, your brother's a corpse.
I kept smiling. Your brother's a corpse. I just frown.
I would too.
All right.
Hmm.
We pick up in the evening. What would you all like to do?
Quick
Right,
talk with the dominant before. That's all I gotta do because I'm gonna tell you that I was gonna do before I forgot. I need to wait for dominant while they're awake. Let me grab my water bottle before I hurt myself.
Peter Boydle?
There it is.
Gabe go first, but yeah,
No.
that's all I got too.
I have a scene that I'm gonna actually post because it is a solo
There
scene,
you go.
and I wrote
That's all I'm
it.
doing. Shut up. Dominant talk.
Yeah, I read it last night.
Yay.
Ugh. Yeah, I go knock on the door again this time. this time at the proper time of day.
As you scroll back, stroll, not scroll.
Scroll back.
As you stroll back down to the Dominant's flat, the door, and you knock. The door opens. Nobody standing there, of course.
I will Dark Souls lore walk in, do the push of the door the rest of the way, and walk in like it's a fog wall. The dominant of a dom. Boss title appears. Health bar.
Ah!
There is no cutscene. There is no cutscene. Just the opening attack.
Ah!
Yeah, I'll walk in. I'll just stand at the door.
Yes, Adonis. How can I help you?
Things are getting bad outside, so I thought I'd check on your plans for if the dome drops. And perhaps even after. If somehow the defense does not last, what did you plan to do?
I trust in Constantine's leadership, the military, to try to defend as long as we can.
Will you be fighting as well?
Likely.
Do you have plans for if you need to retreat somewhere? I assume most places in the city will not be safe anymore.
I do. I have a vacation home.
Did not take you for the vacationing type.
I like to go where the sun does not shine.
I understand it's a more literal, a more damaging reason for you, but I can understand the sentiment.
Yes. It is mostly a hideout, to say the least, in case there are certain aspects and attempts on my life which have happened. I can give you the location if you'd like. There is a small portal to get there. I can give you the access code.
Yes, I will take that, but of course I'm not one to visit if things are to go poorly. I did want to inform you, though, that due to recent endeavors, I will be around a lot longer than most people.
I see.
So if I'm available, and if... No, not if. If I'm available, regardless if I'm available or not, and you require assistance, I am still a constant. I will always be a constant variable.
It's pleasing to know.
So go out there and fight freely. Do not hold back, thinking you will be alone when this is over. I'll be out there somewhere as well.
Someone has to, regardless of what happens in this city.
I just thought you might need peace of mind regardless, you know.
It is
I made a joke saying you were old before, but it's less of a joke and more of a... You live a long life.
As I've told you before, Adonis, I do not intend on dying. If death happens, it happens. But I'd rather die with blood on my hands.
But if you do live, no, you do not live alone. We will share the knowledge of everything here together. And when the time comes for you to... And this is a very biased remark. When the time comes for you to swing back at those that did this, I expect you'll contact me.
You'll be the first I contact. You
Then
will-
I have nothing more to say. I just came to offer you some peace of mind, hopefully, in knowing that however long it takes for the rebuilding, you will not be the last person of Adam to know what happened here, nor you'll be alone in allies.
No matter what we do, things will be different, but there will be tomorrow. That is all I want.
And so you shall have it. I am not a keeper, that is the other one. But tomorrow is what I still fight for.
Keepers of humanity goes beyond the dawn anymore. It is all of all humanity. Frankly, those who fight until the end are keepers. It is no longer a title, but a way of life.
I think I like that. For the first time since I've been in a Dom, I think I agree with something you said regarding this stuff.
Fair. They hand you a strand of something.
I will read this when the time is right. But I fear if I read it too soon, I may rely on you as well to know that I'm not alone throughout however long this takes. When the time is right, I'll reach out to you.
Sounds good.
Unless it's really bad, then feel free.
I intend on making some of the citizens that are now in Korgatha a little more resistant to the cold. But they will need time to understand new natures. We'll need the guidance. I intend on helping him in the way that I know, but the locals might not like it so much. There will be seclusion for a time, till that seclusion is no longer needed.
Time. There's a word thrown around a lot lately, and I take it a lot more literally, I think, now. You will have all the time you need. I'll make sure of it.
Good.
Enjoy your vacation. When all this is done.
I will not be leaving until there is nothing to return to.
I'll make sure that if we have nothing to return to, they have the same treatment. Either we win or we all lose. I'm not a fair fighter. I win.
I know this for you. I respect it quite a lot.
I must continue my rounds. I have been off course for too long today.
One more thing, Adonis.
Yes.
Something simple. Fortia fortis vertis potentia.
God damn it. I know such little Latin. I think I wrote it down right.
It's Adamani, so
All right. Here we go. Write that down. Sorry, I had to put that down somewhere in my notes. So I didn't forget about that.
there's a saying in those words that I think. Mind you, they're speaking in Adamani, but this is. I'll tell you this. There's a saying that I think will go well with you and carry you with what you're doing. Per fortiam vincemos. Which means, as you would hear clearly, through strength we shall prevail.
Nod my head.
Which, Bellama party, you have heard a bastardized form of this. From the Adamantine Empire, which is Virtus et Honorem, which is strength and honor. It's one of the, slogans of the Adamantine Empire. So.
Yeah. I recall that one. Oh, one vaguely, I remember.
Sounded like the really big loyalist used to say it. You heard it from the fucking Centurions a few times, the ones that were loyal.
Nod my head. About appreciation. Well,
Soup?
God, I should eat, but the longer I'm away, the longer this will take. Is there a to-go bowl I could get?
In your hands, you find a Tupperware full of borscht.
Fuck yeah!
I will leave one little silver Yuldabin coin here as a little gift.
These are hard to come by the way. Your Darwin coins might garner you a lot of money in the future.
Money comes with time. But I will take it either way. Maybe as a memento.
Good idea.
We'll begin lumbering my way out of the building, back down, do my old man rounds again.
Hell yeah.
That's all for me. I got nothing else to discuss.
Who's next? Was it Skibbler?
You.
Your turn, my homie. You said you were wanting to talk to the dominant as well?
Yep. Yeah, making my way.
How long do you think after Adonis left that you would have actually went to talk to the dominant?
Oh heavens, I'm not sure.
He was
Could've been
out there the
right
whole
after.
time. He was just on the
Just
roof
waiting.
watching, waiting for me to leave. Oh, thank God he's gone. He sneaks out real fast.
Half
Yeah,
hour?
then sneaks back up like, oh hey, howdy. About that, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. go up to the penthouse and you knock on the door. It opens.
Give it
Same
a
as
dunk,
before.
dunk,
The smell of borscht greets your nose.
dunk. Something smells good. Say it out loud.
Hawk,
Dominant.
what can I do for
Making
you?
my just making my rounds. Figured I'd check in on you.
I've
Been
done
asked
this-
to keep an eye on Little Bellinet, especially. You know, she ain't much of a fighter, so
Don't underestimate her.
figured. Oh, I don't. I know she can nail herself, but an extra eye in the sky won't hurt.
Agreed. Hawks
Figured
tend
check
to
on
circle.
you, see how y'all are doing.
I'm doing alright. I was just making some borscht. Would you like some?
A little pickish. A little do-si-do with that.
Have you ever had borscht, Skylar?
Have not. I've heard of it though.
It's good. Like a beet and cabbage, potato, and beef soup. It's really good, actually.
Interesting.
It's a Slavic dish. It's quite
Don't know
tasty.
how I feel about beets.
You
Yeah.
don't. So because of like how long they're blanched and stuff, they don't have like that beet flavor. It's mostly for the.
Oh, they
color.
don't have that dirt taste. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you wash them and blanch them for a long time, and it's mostly for
Ah.
color. So
Hell yeah.
that's quite good.
Sounds yummy then.
Add a little sour cream and some chives.
Ah,
But yeah,
yummer.
I am doing all right. I assume you've heard the news about the setbacks in the
Mm.
defense front.
Oh yeah. I've read the reports. Leads me to think just how much longer we got, but we'll do play by play, I suppose.
That's all we can do.
Mm-hmm. You got how to phrase this? What you gonna get up to once all is said and done?
Well,
I know we're kind of retreading, but I had
oh no,
the
you're
same
fine.
questions gave.
No, that's
Sorry.
no, it's perfectly
you're
fine.
good.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're two different people. I'm probably going to give those who went to Korgatha a different type of fighting chance.
I'll just nod his head. That's kind of funny.
It does something.
It's
to
honestly
resist the
thinking the
cold.
same thing. I was thinking of heading the same way, kind of making sure Zara's last wish kind of came to fruition, type of deal.
I see.
Of course, wanted to get your permission, being the head of Adam and all.
Well, when that day comes, maybe you can join me at my vacation home to the north.
I think that'd be kind of fun. Been meaning to get out of the city for a while, anyways.
Fair warning, the sun does not shine that far north.
Oh, I see. And
So it might get a little, lack of vitamin D.
mm,
To eat a lot of fish.
I like fish. Oh, I like anything that's set on table in front of me, to be fair.
Fair. As long as
Still
we
keep those
secure-
letters.
I have them.
Oh god, that's embarrassing. But thank you. I wasn't really expecting to come back, to be honest.
Nobody expects to come back from that.
Yeah. I just
Let's
wish
just
it would have been me sometimes instead of Zara.
don't think.
Feel bad for Adonis. That's family, you know. Oh, shit.
Don't think like that.
I know I shouldn't, but it's hard not to.
There's never a time where it should be one person or the other. Loss is loss.
Yeah. It's never fun, never easy.
No.
You know. Maybe once we're in Korgotha, we can have a little talk about Benny. How about? Just never came up. Never had the chance. Kind of gives a little smile.
Benny would be proud.
Oh.
Benny would be ecstatic to see what you've done.
Hey, now. Kind of brings his hat down, covers his face a little bit. Yeah. Might kind of you to say, Domnet.
He talked about you a lot.
Is that right? Good things, I hope.
Always. They're the reason why you're in the position you are.
That's damn right.
They were honest to a fault. I always could trust them. I never had to take their word for falsehoods. Ever. Sadly, I also knew that would likely be the end of them.
Yeah.
Good people make enemies.
It's always the good ones in it. It's good to hear. Some things never change about that boy.
No. It's another saying. Those who live to grow old are either evil or a coward.
There's some truth in there. That's for sure. Well.
Then there's people like me, of course, who just don't plan on growing old, so.
Well, I was gonna say us old heads had to stick together, but yeah, leaving me high and dry.
You're an elf. You don't worry about it either.
I don't even remember how old I am, to be honest.
I think you got me beat.
Sadly, not the first time someone said that.
No. Not to mention you spent enough time in the Feywild anyway. Time doesn't mean anything to you either.
Not really.
You're
no.
probably young in body even for an elf.
Well, I'll take a little pride in that. Why not? Here I was thinking I was losing my touch.
If you see Tan, you'll... Because they, of course, know about Tan.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, Benny was a fucking loudmouth. Let's be honest.
In his backstory, that is canon, yeah.
Yeah. Not to mention there's Aston. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who, you know, same court. So.
Yeah. Hey, you know.
Aston has made a decision. And I wonder if you'll get the same one. But I'll wait for the time. For you to know. It's not my place to say.
I see. Yeah, thanks for the heads up.
Of course.
Well, you know, don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Just gonna say, I'll be down soon. I got to get dressed and
Oh, of course, of course.
prepare everything. So
Not a problem. Just figured to make my rounds. You know,
trying to do more public appearances while things are going on.
fair enough.
So
Keep up morale.
talk to the troop.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna offer a cigar. Gotta meet my quota.
They take it.
Hell yeah.
They flick their fingers, kind of like you do, and it lights.
Mm-hmm. Based.
What's funny though, it doesn't light with flame. Like just the blood itself seems to burn the cigar.
Fancy trick that.
Think of like
Can't say I'm much different.
Karlak with the cigar.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what it's like.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll get moseying on then. Thanks for the little morale boost there and lending an ear to an old man.
You find a Tupperware of borscht in your hands.
Hell yeah. Oh, here.
This is the new
I
version
don't
of
like-
the salad sandwiches.
I don't like leaving debts unpaid, so for the soup here and help with, the ball outfit, still thinking about that. I'm gonna hand her certified.
IOU.
No, I was gonna say certified box of Hawk handmade cigars.
Ooh.
About like 10 or 15. I'll smoke them all at once now.
This is lovely. Thank you so much.
Has like a picture of a rabbit on it.
They smell like whiskey.
Low fragrance I like putting on them sometimes. It's the fancier ones, that is.
I don't know if you've ever had a whiskey soaked cigar, but fuck, dude, they are
They're
lovely.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I've never smoked, so.
I've had a few cigars on occasion, and they're quite.
Oh yeah.
I can only
fancy
smoke like
occasions I
a
can see.
quarter of one before it gets the eyes and I'm done. And,
You're just like, ooh.
yeah, but like they're tasty for a minute. So
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Well, see you around, Omnet.
See you soon.
I'll be keeping an eye out for all y'all.
And you exit.
Yep. Walk away with my yummy, yummy soup.
Perfection. The yum yum soup. Anybody else have anything they'd like to do?
I shared my thing. A
Perfect.
teehee.
Lovely. Your solo scene. Constantine, is there anything you'd like to do?
Just the same thing I've been doing with my men.
Sounds good. Make sure they're not killing each other. With being so fucking.
What are we, worshippers of the blood god? What kind of...
People get stir crazy, man.
Then I need to shake them.
Yes. Like rat shaker.
No.
Shake that rat.
What?
Fair. Mostly just like the last report kind of pissed him off, to say the least. There's that feeling of if they were out there that they would be able to do something about it, maybe make things better. Regardless if they know that's true or not, it's just they don't like the idea of people dying in their stead.
Didn't know we raised a bunch of bitches in this military.
Mm.
Damn. Alright. Hell yeah. Anything else? Lex, anything you want to do?
I mean, other than what I posted, she goes home after that, like back to her sister's previous home.
Fair.
I don't think she does anything else that evening.
Very
At least not that involves people.
Alright. That concludes everybody, so you guys know what that means.
Let's crush it.
Uh,
Let's crush it.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
There we
Hell
go.
yeah!
Holy
Let's
shit.
go.
I think that alone keeps us safe.
It might, once we all roll really shit, but it's
Oh, yeah,
the
watch
cigars
this.
Hawk gave up.
Bam.
Oh! Oh!
God damn.
Maybe we were. Remember we were talking about how we need high ass
Sorry,
rolls
I-
today?
I fumbled it, guys, but you guys saved
Okay,
us.
okay, let me pull up the average.
Hey, look at that, 99. If we got double, we got fucking both of the 11
Yeah.
30 times in a row.
Yeah.
99, 33. Oh, this is great, guys. We're
Give me
killing
your
it.
3, and then we have 3 90s.
I like to do math too. I'm doing. Oh,
That's beautiful.
that's beautiful. This is make a grown man cry.
We're making
this
their
grown
tear.
man. Get back! Damn it, Christian!
Hey, they're getting the whole thing.
Yes, man. Come
Oh,
on, you
man.
stole my cloud. You thought you had the meatballs quote.
My bad, bro. My.
What was that?
What?
What was that, bro?
Leave
It was
it
the
up to
sloppy
you.
kissing.
It
Oh,
wasn't that
Hawk?
sloppy.
Oh, it's not
It was
special to
clean,
Hawk?
a
Okay.
clean smooch.
That's fine.
Hawk,
Clean ass
Hawk gets
kiss.
Hawk gets the slob music. Donald's just the clean
Yeah,
ones.
it's sloppy hockey.
Womp womp. Thumbs down. Boo.
It's jealous.
Minus points. Minus points.
Minus 500 cigarettes.
No.
So that is an average of 78.
We did it. We did it, Hawk. We saved Adam. But your cigar case is gone.
No. No.
Bring it back.
I'm
Pull
gonna
it
bring down the
back.
barrier myself now.
Adonis, go back in time and save that.
Can't live without my cigars, man.
Alright.
Kind of real, though.